Josh.
Oh, that's me. Welcome back to Phantom Power Hour.
Doing something different.
It's different.
We're out of practice.
We are out of practice.
To be fair.
Hopefully on your end, it doesn't feel this way, but it's been a long time since we've sat down to record these.
Well, yeah, you go in the last upload says like 3 months. Not now because you posted
Not now.
one.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's not like I don't keep you busy.
We've been working on some stuff for sure. Yeah.
I get it. But put a Josh sucks in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm just kidding.
SUX if you really mean it.
If you really mean it. But if you're okay with these being like way less edited and you just want more of them, let us know. Or if you like his clever edits, I know I do, but
they're fun.
I know you can't do like clever edits on all my stuff and clever edits on this.
I can if I don't sleep.
Who needs it?
I've always said, I can sleep when I'm dead. So.
Well, that's not sleep though. That's being dead.
It's eternal sleep.
A turtle sleep.
A turtle sleep.
What the shell?
Oh, nice. I see you're on one already. I like it, and I need to get to your level.
I got good sleep, actually, because I'm not editing videos.
I didn't get good sleep.
And also... Oh, that's a bad one. Hang on. How's that for...
Phantom Power ASMR.
I just edged an energy drink. Can we say that on YouTube?
You just did.
I did. Gross.
It means what you think it means. I didn't get good sleep last night, Jeremy, because as you know, I'm an irresponsible gaming nerd, and I try to limit myself and make sure I get things done that need to get done first. And then it's that meme of a person looking at it like a stack of blocks, right? And it's all these different portions of like work, relationships, and then at the very top is sleep. And they're holding the block that says video games. And they're like, where can I fit this? If we just take that sleep block out, it fits perfectly right up there. So about the time where I should be getting ready for bed is when I sit down and turn on my other computer for games. And I've been waiting for a very long time for Path of Exile 2 to come out, and it's now in early access.
What is that game about, or what style of game?
Okay, so we're of similar generations, right? And I know that you don't have a super.
How old are you?
I don't know. Inside, I feel like 25-ish, but I'm 32.
I'm 38, so I mean we're
same generation. Same generation. I know that you don't have a rich gaming background.
But I have a story that I'm angry about. We'll get to and continue.
I want to hear the story because I already know what it's about.
Oh, God.
You're familiar with Diablo, right? The series Diablo. So top-down, isometric, just looter, magic, hordes of enemies. You just blow them all up, basically. This is that by a different company, Grinding Gear Games. And it is one of those companies that feels like it's by the people for the people. Path of Exile 1 was launched about 10 years ago as a free-to-play game, still is. And the one downside, the reason I never got into it...
When you hear free-to-play, do you think Frida Kahlo?
Frida what?
Frida Kahlo. I don't know how to say it, her name. Like the Mexican singer.
I don't know.
Go on.
Does she have a song called Free-to-Play?
No, she's been dead for a long, long time.
Interesting.
Anyway, go on.
I'm trying to figure out this connection here.
It just sounded Frida, free to.
Oh, is it Eyebrow Gal?
Yep.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. No, I never think of her when I say free to play.
Anyway.
But now forever and ever, whenever I think free to play, she will pop on my mind.
Frida Kahlo. Don't judge my terrible accent. Go on.
It's okay.
Free to play.
I can't do accents. The first Path of Exile, extremely complicated and complex, and a great way for people that have been playing it since it came out. For me, trying to get into it way down the road is horrendously confusing. But the new one, Path of Exile 2, came out. I've been playing way too much of it. And that's really all I had to say. I didn't go to bed until I think 2:30, and then I got up at 5:30 to go to the gym.
I was in bed at 9:30 last night.
That's what I need to do.
It doesn't happen all the time, but that was really nice.
Yeah.
And I woke up at 6:30 like, I'm feeling good.
Look at you being responsible.
Yup. Sorry. Okay, the reason I'm upset, I think this was 6 months ago, maybe. I was talking about the one game I want to play, Pharaoh.
Yep.
Found it. I actually found on an old, like, what is it? Is it GOG games?
GOG, yeah, good old games.
Good old games. Oh, so they're old games. Great. I had bought it there, and it's only Windows. I remember I got it to work somehow, and I realized it was on an old Windows machine.
Yeah.
That I no longer have. So I spent way too long trying to get wine to work and using homebrew and like installing stuff in my terminals. Like I felt like a hacker. I didn't get it to work. I can get it to, I installed it. I got all the file, everything's there. And then when you go to double click it, black screen and it turns off. Like crap. The game turns off. Computer's fine.
Yeah.
So like wine opens, but I can't get it to open. I don't know what I'm doing. If anybody out there knows how to make this happen, send me a message, please. I just want to play Pharaoh. It's like a 20-year-old game.
Well, and you got the original. I know that after that conversation, I had found that they did a remake.
There's a
Pharaoh.
new one, but it's still just Windows.
Right.
So,
but you might have a little bit more luck doing the same methods of wrapping it with a wine wrapper and then trying to launch it. I know that, from my understanding, they're still trying to work out wine on Apple silicone because it was all designed with the Intel chipset in mind. Okay. And that could be one of the problems that you're running into. It's also with really old games like that, even on a modern Windows computer.
Screw you, buddy.
Well, 20-year-old game is an old game, you know? I recently, almost as old of a game, I downloaded Black and White 2, which I grew up on. But same problems, even on my Windows machine, there are so many hoops that you have to try to jump through because it was made for an older operating system.
Yeah. I just need to go buy like a dumb cheap Windows machine and then I'll be fine.
Yeah, and you could get almost anything, especially an old one, for probably like $30-$40, something like that, and have it run that, because it doesn't need to be anywhere close to modern.
No, I mean, I want it to be relatively like portable, so that it might get a little more expensive. I don't know. We're talking a lot about games.
Yeah, we can make a little nook for you. That'd be fun.
Are we just changing the channel now? Like,
Phantom Gaming Hour. I would have to.
There's music in games, and
yes.
Pharaoh has incredible music.
PoE has Path of Exile has really cool music. I was just talking about music in the gaming industry with Joshua yesterday. I was over at his house, and if you at all have seen some of our recent videos on your channel, or I've talked about my band before, it leans in the heavier direction. And so, of course, we are in love with Mick Gordon, who did all the Doom Eternal music. We also, Joshua informed me that I think it was the second latest Bring Me the Horizon album was his work as well, Mick Gordon's work. Which kind of makes sense going back and listening to it. But in this vein of video games and music, have you, listened to the new Linkin Park?
I haven't.
I haven't gone through the whole album yet.
I have nothing against it. I know there's like people who are very against it. I'm totally open to listening to it. I just haven't.
I hadn't before yesterday, and I think it was not because I have anything against it, but just knowing that there's no Chester kind of, I think that kind of, nice. I think that kind of blocked me off mentally from like wanting to dive in. But this all interweaves together because League of Legends, which is a huge game in the world for esports and stuff, they like one of the singles from the new Linkin Park album was used for a huge promo thing. The music video for that video has a bunch of footage from League of Legends in it.
Did they remix it in like League of Legends style?
No, well, it is very electronic, but I think that is Linkin Park's doing.
Okay.
As opposed to League of Legends remixing it. So I think it's a purely like Linkin Park song. I don't know if it was commissioned by League of Legends. I don't know what kind of deal that they made to have that cross-pollination. But this led Joshua and I off this whole kind of conversation and concept of like video game and music worlds like clashing. Because then we started talking about, I think it's Knocked Loose, that's kind of unabashedly trying to get into the Fortnite market by having a lot of social media kind of posts of them playing Fortnite and things like that, which maybe we're reading into it too much. Maybe there's actually no ploy there. Maybe they just really love playing Fortnite and talking about it. Could be true. But I think that world's interesting. There's another band that he brought up, because I don't pay attention to a whole lot of those inner workings as much for modern stuff, but I think it was Bring Me the Horizon. Also had like a collab with Death Stranding when that launched, and one of their music videos is a lot of footage from Death Stranding. And I didn't realize that there was so much kind of band video game collaboration going on, but I'm here for it. I love it.
I'm not big enough into games, but I do follow League of Legends.
Really?
Specifically for their like music label.
Oh, okay.
I'm so fascinated. I know nothing about League of Legends other than the music side, but how they like create all these worlds, and that came into, well, let's create basically a whole musical universe for this universe. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And then so I talked about KDA like all the time with you and everybody, but that was one of those bands they just created for that universe, and those mixes are insane. They're so good, and at this point they're kind of aging, but they still sound great. I'm just blown away by like, where does that line cross? Like, what is a real artist, or does it even matter? Because either way, you're kind of creating a persona.
Yeah.
And if your persona can automatically be attached to a niche industry that will consume it, that seems like the dream right there. And like most of the world has no idea who KDA is, but like this very niche section of the industry who they're catered for, it's bonkers.
Yeah. And that's a huge industry. Even if you just isolate League of Legends, that industry is massive. Not only like just gaming, but aside from that, they have their whole show Arcane, which has been top of the Netflix charts since it launched. And then they are, as far as I'm aware, the top played and top watched esport across the world, like the entire globe. And it's a microtransaction game. So I'm not sure if it's free to play. I know that there are
Free to color.
Yes. But I do know that the top players in the world who actually had characters of them made for this music video that was crossed with Linkin Park. It was cool. And these top players have essentially costume packs, right? They have skins that are affiliated with their name that are being sold to players, and players are spending anywhere from like, I think one of the cheapest ones is like $30 to like $600+ just so your character that you're playing has like a different colored shirt.
That's the whole other side of it too. Like if you're attaching yourself to an industry where you not only know there's consumption and like you're tapped into your niche market, but you also know there's income. There's dispensable income there.
Yeah.
Disposable. Dispensable? Same thing. Shut up.
Depends on how you use it, I guess. Yeah, we don't need to go down the rabbit hole of microtransactions and how insane it is, and like the gamba of
Speaking of
the youth minds.
microtransactions, deposit your credit card number for 10 more minutes of Phantom Power Hour. Don't do that.
No, I don't even know if we don't even have a system for that set up.
Put it in the YouTube comments.
Comment your credit card number.
Don't do that.
Make sure you include the CVV code or CCV.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do any of those things. And heavily consider what microtransactions you are purchasing when you're in that kind of situation.
Way to take it responsible.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's one game, last game I'll bring up, but for now, I guess. I don't think I'll bring any more up, but it's from the Amazon studio. It's not even fully launched yet. Space exploration type of game. And from what I understand, there's a lot of people playing it and a lot of people love it. And I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but I'll put it down here if I do end up looking
Your
it up.
hand was so low. That's going to be so small.
It's going to be right here. Right here. I bring it up, though, because they have microtransactions, some of them $60,000, and people buy them.
We're in the wrong industry.
Dude, right? This is $60,000 gets you access to all of the spaceships that the game has to offer.
Is it No Man's Sky?
No, it's similar to that.
I know what you're talking
in
about.
gameplay,
Yeah.
but it's an Amazon studio one. And to be fair, the studio is doing really cool stuff on the engineering side of server meshing. That's been like a big problem in online multiplayer games in the past of different servers. If you're not on this server, you can't interact with this person. But server meshing is taking all of them and kind of pulling the data together using dark magic, I think, so that you can have all players interactable at the same time and stuff. Somebody way smarter than me could explain it much better if you have any interest. But like I said,
it's the same guy putting his credit card number down there.
I hope so. I mean, no, don't do that.
Okay, can we talk about an abomination? I showed this to you earlier.
Abominate me.
So I just put out a video on Austrian Audio, the OC16, $399 mic. So a lot of comments tossed around about budget mics. Although I've only had one experience with an Aston mic, I loved it. I don't have nearly enough experience to say like I would love to try them, because I've always thought, like, what was it, the Starlight one that had lasers on it? I thought that was the coolest thing.
These have lasers.
These have lasers, but these were for like directionality, so you could like make sure they were pointing at the same place.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't even know if it still exists, but
not to tangent already. That's a cool idea, though. If you have, I don't know, overheads or something.
I think it would be really cool if they could also pair it with like, so you have like laser tape measures.
Exactly.
So if it was just, okay, we are now both pointed at the same point on the snare, and I can look up and see I'm 49.7 inches from that dot. That would save me so much time in the studio. Can someone make that, please?
If we take it one step further, and if you do have it reading accurate measurements to, let's say, a 1/10 of an inch or something, or even a more accurate measurement, could there be some kind of algorithm in there that even if they're not exact, they could still phase up with each other?
Maybe. I wouldn't want to. I just want to see what the mic's doing. I get worried when there starts to get like too much black magic under the hood.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking,
yes,
not for this one in particular, but I could see that as a cool.
I suppose it would be no different than like using like a precision time-align plugin.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, where you're just delaying the signal. I mean, that'd be a lot of circuitry under the hood, and I don't know how you would.
Couldn't it just be digital though? Like,
but now you're talking converters in a microphone.
People don't like that.
No.
Unless it's a plug-in that comes with it.
See, now you're talking about back-end work.
People don't like that.
if I just tell me how far I am, I can whoop, now it's done.
Yeah. I guess you could delay with circuitry, but then you're getting into more stuff in between the signal chain.
Okay, none of this is my point.
I know it's not.
The whole thing, maybe you can pop it up here. If you go right now, and I'm not trying to take a shot at a company, I just think this is insane. But Aston put up we wish you an Aston Christmas 2024. As of right now, it has 25 views.
Okay.
I'm probably 20 of them. And someone else sent this to me who commented on my last video, said he loved the Aston. He actually got a tattoo of it.
Mhm.
It looks awesome, by the way. Shout out to you, Randall. And he sent me this. He's like, by the way, did you see what they just put out? And it's a cute little kind of, not even an ad. It's a cute thing. And I don't know why this bothers me so much, but they used AI to make the song, obviously. Like, you can hear it. If you know what AI music sounds like, this is very obviously AI music. And I don't know why it bugs me to see a microphone company using AI. You could have recorded it.
Or at least like, yeah, commission an artist to record it. It doesn't even have to be with your own mics, but
I get it. I mean, you're trying to put out something on social media.
Yeah.
But like, why does it bother me?
I'm
not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just like, why did this trigger me so fast?
if it were a company in any other industry, I don't think it would have irked you at all. I mean, you probably would have noticed it.
It would have irked a lot of other people because there's so much pushback for using like AI in so many different areas. Like that took somebody's job. Okay, whatever. I think AI can be a tool. That's a whole different discussion, and we've had it multiple times. I think, but in this instance, you had an opportunity to show your microphones.
Yeah.
Not that you don't. I mean, there's videos on videos on videos here. I don't know.
It is. It seems really strange that it's specifically a microphone company using AI.
And Aston, if you need help, I happen to know a guy who typically makes songs when he gets microphones. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
And you have a Christmas tree and a Santa hat over there.
I do. We can spin the camera around.
Yeah. We can make a little Christmas reel real quick.
I don't have 80 Aston mics. I'm actually pretty unfamiliar with their lineup.
To be honest, I hadn't heard of them until I saw that comment.
Do you want to know how I have kids? Look at the last thing I Googled.
I already know how people have kids, Jeremy. I got that talk.
Okay.
Unless you do something way different.
Well, I'm still learning. Look at the last thing I Googled.
You don't have to have kids to Google a fart soundboard. Anybody can have fun with fart sounds, Jeremy.
Wait, I want to show you my favorite
Are you
one.
gatekeeping fun with fart sounds?
Okay, this is a mess of an episode, but
we haven't done it for a while. Okay?
We haven't seen each other for a while, so we're just hanging out. And you can hang out with us, Carl. I know you're down there.
Carl.
Ads. Close.
What?
Okay.
That's why you gotta run Chrome, get that ad block.
I have a 5-year-old and he's a picky eater. Really hard to get this kid to do anything. But he's all boy.
Mm-hmm.
Farts. Greatest, funniest thing.
That means I'm all boy.
If he takes a bite of food, I'm like, all right, buddy, here we go. I don't know if Mike's gonna pick this up, but like, and
you play fart sounds as a reward for him taking.
I do. Because he'll be so upset. I'm like, I don't want this for dinner. Like, okay, but you need to eat your vegetables. All right, I don't want it. Like, you eat it, I'll play a fart noise. Okay. Like, so eat 1 carrot. He giggles like that.
Mm-hmm.
He'll take another bite of carrots. So
that's some wet reverb, if you know what I'm saying.
You want to know his favorite one?
That'd be my favorite one too.
Anyway, where was I going? I was looking up Aston.
To riff off of these farts for a hot second. Not a sentence I thought I would be saying in front of a camera ever. It's very funny that you played the Mario theme with the fart at the end because
this is a transition right here.
Us boys of Joshua Powell recorded a song called Blood Arcade. It was used for a like independent horror film. I think it released earlier this year, but we kind of revamped it in the new sound for the film. It was more of a laid back indie acoustic kind of deal. We re-recorded it with a heavier spin, added a breakdown as we do. And with the whole theme of Blood Arcade, we thought it would be cool to recreate kind of arcade sounds and stuff with different like, ARPs and synth plugins and all that. And one thing that we also love to do is hide samples of things. And on our last album, Skeleton Party, I think it was every song, if not every song, most songs had the Mario coin sound that we recreated with a whammy pedal, a bunch of distortion and guitar. And it was hidden in every track. And so we just like doing that kind of thing. So with this song, Blood Arcade, right before the breakdown, I put a Yahoo in it. And then that didn't make the cut, understandably. But the whole last breakdown, I almost don't want to say it because I want to know if people catch it. But the last breakdown that the song ends with is the bump, 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 ba-dum, bump, bump, ba-dum, ba-dum, bump, ba-da-dum.
Was this out right now?
No, it's not out right. It's we just sent stems off to get it mixed and stuff. But to put a little bow on that, I also for the breakdown, just for kicks and giggles, replaced all the instruments with fart sounds. So we had a fart breakdown.
A fart down.
A fart down.
So I'm looking at Aston stuff. I don't want this to be about Aston, but I realize if I'm talking about him, I should probably know what I'm talking about. It looks like they've got the stealth, the origin, the spirit. I think the origin and the spirit were like the first two things.
Those seem very affordable. I would be curious to kind of see what your take would be on them.
But it looks like the starlight is gone. Because if you go, I don't see it here, but if you go to their picture here, that's the starlight right there. See the laser?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not screen recording, so
no, that's
you
okay.
might need to toss a graphic. Sorry. But I don't see it for sale anywhere. So maybe it didn't do very well. I just love their design aesthetic.
It is a very cool design. It's a design that I've seen across multiple brands of microphone. Do you know can anybody take credit for the original look? That's kind of that cylindrical with, it's not just like mesh around the capsule, but like the cross kind of thing. I don't have good words to describe visual things, I guess. You
don't? No, I don't. That like lattice structure.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm going for.
I don't know. I don't know. No idea.
No idea either.
There's a new mic company coming out I know nothing about.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're making like super tiny mics. I'm actually curious to see like people's thoughts on this.
People get scared by super tiny mics.
Because they sneak up on you.
Mm-hmm.
Lunar. Look at the size of that capsule compared to the housing. Like
aesthetically, I love what I'm seeing.
I know. And I've been messaging them on Instagram. Like I have no relationship with them. And they're not interested in like
doing anything.
No. So
at least not at this point.
So, and for like I don't need another microphone. But it's been interesting to watch them from like, I don't even know how it popped up on Instagram because it's not like they have a ton of followers. Maybe because I'm always looking at microphones. And the
Instagram was like, I know what this guy likes.
I know what this guy likes. Look how tiny.
Dude, that is so cool.
The only weird part about it, like I totally get what they're doing. And if that thing could handle a lot of SPLs, that'd be wild to put on drums. But like you have quarter 20 instead of like typical. So everything's smaller on the body because the body's physically not large enough to have like a mic mount. And it's not physically large enough to have an XLR. So it uses mini XLR. So like you have to have a special adapter to run it.
I don't even know her. Is there a photo? Okay, that's a photo of it in their hand. I didn't see that one earlier.
I think that's the bigger one. There's two of them.
That looks so cool. It's like a classic Game Boy meets like I don't even
like Star Trek talking.
Yeah, like Soviet era space exploration. And maybe space is in my head only because it's the company's Lunar.
Well, I think that's
the
what
photo of the
doing.
moon was up there.
Yeah. Like it looks very like Apollo era stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It looks so cool. And I really hope they sound good because I would want to pick up a couple of these. But really interesting. If you want to go follow, these people don't know me. I don't know them. But
Where are they based out of? Does it say anywhere?
No idea.
Is there like an about us or anything on that page?
There's a contact. So
It's a website.
there's so little here. Big sound. So everything's CNC. It is Transformer.
Okay.
So I would have thought it would have been Transformerless at that size. I wonder if it says anything about capsule size. But I mean, you get like...
3 polar patterns.
I wonder if there's a pad.
I wonder, are both sides of the capsule meshed? Or just the front? Because it says it has an omnidirectional polar pattern.
It would be open on both sides. Yeah. But one thing I liked when I saw them like developing, because they added the K67, that's like one of the more common capsule types. M7 is not. You don't see that a whole lot. And it's like 32 millimeter. That's a big old diaphragm to put in a microphone that size.
Mm-hmm.
That's big. Which is really interesting because you could get just a massive sound depending on the circuit out of this thing. It's a cool different take. They're not trying to make the exact same thing that everybody's making. That's why I'm like, oh, cool. You're doing something different.
They are US based, it looks like, reading some of that. Because they said that M7 capsule is the only thing that's not made in the US.
Yeah, and this would be like, I think like big German style, like Neumann. I don't know if it's the same one, but you have the Neumann M7, which is a dumb expensive microphone.
That's what it says right there. Extremely tight tolerance for the original Neumann M7.
That's an expensive mic. See, that's kind of what I thought. But the K67 would be like, you have a lot of like old, it's still like a German style thing, like the U87s, like just about any clone of a microphone will base it off of a K67 capsule. They're pretty ubiquitous. So I
almost wish that it was named the M9. That way people could call it the Mo.
Anyway, cool to see small companies doing different stuff.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where that goes. And I know that they had one link for a sound example on Guitar Cab with others supposedly to come, but
he did message me. I say he, I don't know who I'm messaging on the other side, but they had done vocal examples. I didn't really message back because it's so hard, like unless it's compared to something.
Yeah.
And I don't know that person's voice. And like, at least like in a YouTube example, if you see somebody giving like a mic example, you can easily go back and listen to them on any amount of other things. Like people will complain if I'm doing an example on like the last one, Austrian Audio OC16. Well, you're not comparing it to anything. Go listen to any other video.
And that's how you get them. That's how you rope them in.
That's
go click on any of my other thumbnails.
But if every video was like, here's every mic I have.
Yeah.
That would be so exhausting, but you can go back and see like, okay, well, this one did this one did this one did this. Pair that with anecdotal experience.
And then when there is a direct comparison you're making, you still will include side-by-side comparisons.
Yeah. But in an example like that's my only concern. We're like, I don't know that person's voice. I don't know where they're doing this.
Yeah.
Sounds good, sure, but there's any amount of things you can do to it to make anything sound good.
You can make a lot of stuff sound pretty good.
I'm interested to see where they come in price point wise, because if it's even relatively affordable, that's going to be pretty cool.
I wonder, with machined aluminum, surely tons of R&D goes into making something that small. But we'll see. We'll see.
The team seems pretty darn tiny, because if you go to their Instagram, they only have 149 followers.
And that's
nothing to sneeze at, but like, this is all the posts they've done so far.
Yeah. When was their first post posted?
June.
Yeah, so like very recent.
I think I found them on this post and have been following them since that point. It's just
Well,
interesting
Lunar,
to
I love the
see.
look of it. It looks
I
so
know.
cool.
It's cool to actually. It's so easy to see like all these companies where you see microphones in the end result, but it's like I wish they would put more content out about what they're doing to be like, I want to see why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, you don't have to spill all the secret sauce, but like let us behind the curtain a little bit.
I get the mystery and like, oh, that's a cool picture, but like, I want to know the thoughts behind it. Because at this point, I have so many microphones, and I'm like, I can pretty easily discern the difference between them. And of course, I have my own taste and biases when it comes to it, but I have no idea when it comes to like circuit design. And I wish more people would talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking to circuit design and stuff, I find it so fascinating that a lot of possibilities of what you can do, how you can augment sound with different resistors and capacitors and tubes and all that kind of stuff. Like we've kind of figured out all the things that we can do, and now it's like doing things in this order or adding this little kind of idea that everybody knows about, but in this particular way. And now you get all these different flavors, and then you add in materials in the capsule. How big is it? What's the housing like? All these different variables, right, that come out with different sounds. What blows me away is these engineers that make it like at least a portion of their life, just a mission to like, no, I want it to sound a little bit different. So they're swapping these parts out and they're trying different designs and stuff. That is so cool to me.
That's the part I can't wrap my head around, because I'm very much like, I will do so many experiments to figure out what something sounds like and then apply that to whatever source I'm using. So like, I know this does this does this, mix those two together. I kind of think of myself like a bartender using like different, I don't know.
Or an alchemist.
Right. But I wouldn't know how to make alcohol. You know, I don't know. That's a terrible example. But we just become bootleggers. Is that what we did?
Yep.
But speaking of electrical stuff, I had a session with a band this last week, and one of the players was, I think he said he was an electrical engineer.
Oh, cool.
And he was the same guy. I was telling you his bass rig was just
now it makes even more sense.
Literally the size of this table was his pedal board, and it was full of incredible stuff. And I was like, this is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be the noisiest thing. It was silent. And it wasn't like they had crazy stuff. There was power strips and wall warts, but he had a collection of wall warts, and he knew what was inside every single one of them. So when the guitar player had like this weird noise, he went up and like diagnosed it real quick and changed out one of the wall warts and did this, and it was silent. It's like, how did you just do that?
He's a wizard, Harry.
That is quieter than my pedal board, which has a pretty good power supply in it, but like you're doing it with power strips.
Yeah.
And it was bonkers. It looked like a mess. I wish I would have learned more about electricity because he knew exactly how to fix it.
I mean, I'm essentially an electrical engineer now. I fixed my oven the other day. So
you fixed your oven?
Yeah. I replaced the element in it. Just the heating element on the bottom.
You're braver than I am.
I think it was bravery due to ignorance. Yeah. I unplugged it from the wall and was like, all right, I should be fine.
Whoa. Did it pop?
Yeah, like a year ago. And I didn't realize that you can just get a new element and replace it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, we've been without an oven for a very long time because I didn't know I could spend $30 for this little piece of metal and replace it. Dude,
that happens. How do our parents have like appliances that last them their whole lives? But I don't know. My element blew. One of my friends' elements blew. Your element. What are they doing to ovens?
What kind of elements are they using?
This is the oldest man rant I've ever done. They just don't make them like they
don't make them like they used to. Yeah. So I'm an electrical engineer now. I can fix an oven.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
You can make a casserole. What is this episode?
I have no idea. I'm just having a good time.
We're just glad to be back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll film another one that's a little more directed.
Yeah, we could try that. And call what's that director that likes explosions? Michael Bay.
Yeah.
We'll call Michael Bay in. We'll get some direction here.
Let me text him, see what he's up to.
Yeah.
You up, boo? We'll see what he says.
Okay.
What I've done. This is the end credits of all of his movies, right?
I don't know if it's all of them.
It'll be this one.
It'll be this one.
Star Wipe.
Ooh,
Linkin Park.
Star Wipe.
Do you have a Star Wipe?
I can make one probably.
Challenge made.
When you say Star Wipe, do you mean like a clock wipe, but in the shape of a star?
Star character wiping the screen.
Oh man, that's gonna be tough. Oh, that's gonna take a lot of work.
Open for interpretation. What I've done.
Now it's time for Record Rex.
There's this artist that it's almost like a nostalgia trip for me, but it's not in a way. And this will make sense in a second. But I first heard this artist like years ago, like end of high school. I think they only had maybe one album out. And then I didn't really hear anything else until very recently. They started releasing music again. And it's this guy. It's Jeremy. That's my record rec. Stop it. But no, for real. Been making some neat songs. And I don't know what your perspective was when you first kind of made the first one. I know that, I mean, you were testing a microphone, and from my understanding, the first video that you made, the first song that you made in this context was like you were just inspired by the mic and you just started like laying more and more stuff down and it turned into a song.
Yeah, it was like whatever I get when I like plug it in and test it, because normally I test it in the context of a session, but I talk about this on all my videos. Like before a session, I'll set everything up and test it. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember what that session was or even what the song was or what the mic was, the first one. But I think I was just getting guitar cabs mic'd up and I just started playing something like, oh, that's cool. So I hit record. And I think on that one, I was also like poking you to try to be like, do you have a band I can, because I like to bring bands in if they can't do it. And then for whatever reason, I just couldn't find anybody. I was like, well, I'll just do one of my own. Like I got all these riffs I recorded. So, and
fairly recently, after so much public outcry, you started uploading them.
I gotta go back and find some of the first ones because I have not put all of them out. Yeah. But I think today the second one released.
Okay.
So
yeah, so go check those out, either in video form or on your favorite streaming service.
Yeah, I think they're all up on YouTube Music right now. There's 2 until I get the rest of them up. But if you just look up Jeremy Mang, boring name. I was trying to get clever in my
making tunnels.
Just use your name.
It's a boring name.
Oh, it's an Elon joke.
What's your rec?
Let me find it. I got a couple. Let me listen for a sec. It's been so long since I've listened to this because it's been so long since we made a podcast. But I just thought I was into this vibe. It's just called Jason, featuring Nikki Flores.
I suppose so, yeah.
The Midnight. It is the most 80s thing ever, and I love it.
At this point, the boys did not realize this was a record rec from a previous episode.
Heck yeah.
It's so over the top. I just picture, I don't even have a motorcycle, but I picture myself on a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm. And there's like an ocean to the side, but it's like
neon
nighttime
on the other side, riding into the sunset, chasing down an international gang to...
Now, what kind of motorcycle? Because surely not a Harley.
I don't know, a black one.
Like,
know.
are we going like crotch rocket or like Suzuki? Like,
Okay. The one time I actually wanted a motorcycle, and actually this was a goal when I started the studio, was my dad was like, if you have a successful business, you got to give yourself a goal. And I was like, I really want a motorcycle. So we went out looking for motorcycles, and I picked one. It was a Harley, but it was, I don't care about Harley for the sake of Harley. But
it just looked cool, this specific one.
It was the Iron 883, tiny little engine, but there's nothing special about the bike. I don't even, that was the one, the Iron 883.
Yeah.
Because it was all blacked out. I thought it was cool.
I think motorcycles are cool.
Very impractical.
Yeah. And as I get older, I'm so much less adverse to risk, or more adverse to risk. I don't like risk as much. Physical risk. I've been injured a lot, and I don't want to be injured more now that my body doesn't like to heal.
So I'm just like, I can't put groceries in there, and I can't put a car seat on a Harley.
I had the legitimate thought of like, what if I need to go to a gig? Do I just put my backpack gig bag on with a base sticking like a couple feet over me? Like, what do I do?
Well, and then you're doing the whole like DI thing.
Yeah, that's true. No rig.
Go full on, buddy.
That would be crazy to see somebody with a sidecar and it just has like an 810 like Ampeg fridge.
I could see you doing that.
Well, I won't take us down more rabbit trails. This was a fun one. We went all over the place.
Yeah, we'll just call it We Back.
Oh, the places we have been.
Well, maybe we'll do another one where we actually talk about a topic. But we're glad to be back. We're glad you're back, Steven.
Yeah.
Good to see your face. Don't forget to put your credit card numbers down there.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
If you liked what you saw, I am astonished.
I can't imagine why.
Let's see. If you stuck around this far, drop a moon emoji, because we talked about Lunar today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the dislike button if you disliked it.
Share it with your worst enemies, because they'll hate it too. Okay, bye. Oh, and subscribe!